Hey everyone, thanks for listening and watching this. I've had a lot of people reach out to me since I posted that last AI video wondering what tools I've used and some of the processes, so I figured I would go ahead and put together a walkthrough of the kind of the process I took. And if you didn't get a chance to see the last video, go back to the channel list and click on it and take a look. Please be kind. This is the first one of these things I have done or am doing, so hopefully it is very helpful. And just a disclaimer, the use for creating a video like this is basically for storyboarding. You can use these AI tools to put together all the elements you need to storyboard out an idea. All right, well, let's get started. The things that we will need to use AI to create will include our script, our voiceover, our illustrations, our animations, and the music. Obviously, there are, numerous different tools out there right now that you can use to put these together. The short list is ChatGPT, 11 Labs, Midjourney, Caber AI, Runway, and Moobert, with a honorable mention to Leapix, but that kind of animation for the images just isn't, the type that we want to use for this video that we're making. But it's definitely useful in other artistic applications that you want to use it for, but just not for our purposes. So first, we went over to ChatGPT, and then I'm just doing something generic here. If someone wanted to do a little 15-second social video for a local business, and so let's see, I kind of came up with like a little pizza place. So I went to ChatGPT and I told it, let's write a 20-second script for a pizza place. So the first thing you notice there is the extra text that is direction. So I said remove direction, because we just want to get a basic script. So there you go. We took out the direction, and we have placeholders for the name. So I did a little deeper removal of the direction. You can see sometimes you got to tell it twice. And then just to give it a name so I could have a full copy and paste for our VO, I called it Johnny's Pizza. All right, now we have that all written out. Our next step is to go over to 11 Labs. This will be our tool for creating the voiceover. So I copied it in there, made a couple tweaks by taking out some of the titles that still remained. And then you go to the top drop-down menu and you can kind of pick your voices. I'll let you go through and kind of see all that is there, but there are some basic voices that you can choose from with different accents, different from different places. So I figured, hey, why don't we do a little Italian accent? So I wanted to see what that sounds like. So we got Giovanni in there. And I did not record audio while I was screen grabbing these, so you can kind of go over to the website yourself and hear what these look like, or hear what these sound like. And you have those sliders up there, stability and clarity. You can play with those, and it just helps with having it sound more normal, more natural. Play with those back and forth can help with how the AI voice sounds with its cadence. Playing with those help you kind of get a voice that sounds more natural or less rushed sometimes. If you want a quicker voice, you can play with those and get different styles. So now we kind of decided on one. We go to download, and we'll make a new folder here. Should have done that beforehand, but there we go. And now we have that downloaded. All right, next we will hop over to Midjourney. Midjourney is an image generating tool As you can see, it works through Discord, but if you go to their website and get it all signed up, it'll show you how to connect into Discord. I'll leave that to you to figure out. But once you get there, you can see it uses a very specific prompt where you write /imagine, and then the prompt comes up, and then you can kind of put everything you want the image to show in there. So we put pizzeria street front, and we'll see what that shows up. Now you also can put in a bunch of different prompts to show what kind of image you want it, but for to show what kind of image you want it to be. But for simplicity, I skip that and just put in the basic prompts. So what it does is it gives you 4 different options. And you can take a look at these and you can either pick one, or if you don't like it, you can try it again. And it's costing you nothing to do these, so you can do this as many times as you want. So what I didn't like was it has a hard time with words, putting actual words into signs. So I went to redo it and say unnamed, so it got rid of those fake words. And you can see it goes pretty quickly once you're all registered and you're official. It goes pretty quick to generate. And you can see you can do a bunch of different prompts. So as that one's going, you can always do a couple at the same time. You don't have to wait for one to finish. And you can see what I'm doing is kind of just revising my prompt just to kind of get more of the image I'm looking for. So those all looked really kind of old and not modern, so I just switched it up to say modern. Zoop, there it is. So these are 4 kind of modern, so I didn't want too modern, so I'm looking at these. I believe I choose the top left. So you get 2 options. You can do U1, U2, U3, U4, which is up-res of that image. Or you can click the V below and just get variations of that. So I like this. I clicked on it and then saved it. So I zip through just so I can grab a whole bunch of different images that relate to different points on the script. You can see me going back and forth between the script and just seeing which points I want different images for. So now that is done, we click over to an app called Runway. Runway is your animation AI for your files or for your images. So once you get that all set up, I'm adding my image to the prompt, and you can just upload it directly there. Now this is just the straight image way of doing it. You just put the image in, select your different aspects, lowering the motion down to 2, check to make sure it's upscaled. You can change duration afterwards, and then just generating. And while that's going, we can jump over to this other animation AI called Caber. I believe that's how it's pronounced. This one is a little more animation style versus a little less realistic, although animation of these stills are still pretty illustrative, not very realistic. But this one is just a different way of doing it. You upload the video, you type what you want it to say or do. Family enjoying their food and talking to each other. And then in the style of, you can do it custom, or they have some pre-made ones here. So I clicked cinematic. I didn't want it vintage, so I took that part out. And then you do your video settings. Evolve, it's the same thing as, the motion for Runway. The lower the number, the less animation. Sometimes if you have the number too high and it animates too much, it looks a little quirky. So this is what Caber spits out when you do the animation. It's a little faster than Runway, so that's why you can kind of do them at the same time to see what you want. So pick that one, prepared it, and that's what it gives you. Now you can see it's kind of morphing a lot. So it's just kind of the style of these AI animations currently. They're more morph than animation. Hopping back over to Runway, you can see with our settings, I did a push in on it. And this is a good example of some of the issues it might have. It kind of morphs that kid right out of the picture, which is not what we want. We want it to be realistic. So I don't know where that kid's going. So you can see I don't like it, so I go back down to the prompt and I change some of the points that I have. So I took the zoom out, and then the speed, I'm really lowering it down so it doesn't try to animate too much. Checking all those settings. I like to have them all clicked and then generated again. Zipping through speed. It usually goes slower than that, but I zip through. So you see, without the push on it, it kind of really simplifies the animation. So we're going to go with that and save that up. And you can reset and kind of zip through doing a bunch of animations. Next is music. So I use a site here. This is one of the first ones I've tried, called Moobert. Just like any music site, it has genres or moods, and you can kind of pick from it and generate it. So I'm kind of generating one here. It's very chill. Again, did not record audio on the screen grab, so you won't hear it, but you can see the waveform at the bottom as we're playing. So I did a couple more. Speed through that. And once you get one that you want, you can view your downloads. There's another section down there that says downloads as well. And then you can just save it. And it saves as a MP4, I believe. Or no, sorry, it saves as a wave. So you can just save it, and it saves as a wave. And next, the fun part. We will load all this into, I prefer using Avid for editing. You can use whatever you like, whether it's Premiere, Resolve, CapCut, I don't really care. Whatever you would like to use for your final editing, this is the last part of the entire process that isn't AI. Definitely have had discussions with people about how AI is taking over post and it's going to take over editors, and that may be the case way down in the future, but as of right now, you can create all these elements, but there has to be someone to put it together. I'm doing this as if it's a social media video, so we're going to do this in the vertical video aspect. I put my VO in, adjusting the VO, spacing it out, and then I'm just kind of laying these pre-made animations that I made to the script, so it's pretty easy to drop them in there, put the music there, and there it's done. So that is the process of putting it together. I will play the finished product at the end of this. Take a look, check it out, play with all these tools yourself. Hopefully this little video helped you, and I'd love to discuss more of this.
Welcome to Johnny's Pizza. Our pizzas are handcrafted with love and the finest ingredients. Join us for a slice of happiness today. Johnny's Pizza, serving happiness, one slice at a time.